All right, so this is my 1992 Toyota Celica GT4, Carlos Sainz. I bought this car in Italy in 2012. As you can see, turbo four-wheel drive badge. And then over here, Toyota Celica. Car is pretty straight as far as I know, no accidents aside from something like that. I have no idea where that came from, but it was like that when I bought it. Let me get a little closer. So this little ding in there. What else? A little bit of paint fade. The door is pretty bad. This is the worst panel on the whole entire car. The only thing I saw that made me think that the car was possibly in some kind of, I don't even know if I can say accident, but the paint code says that the car is black, but so this is red, as you can see. So that had to have been replaced. This one, I guess, was possibly replaced. And then this, on the other hand, like there's no indication of the actual trunk lid part of the spoiler. So I don't think they would put red under it, under black, I don't know. I have no idea, but this side is a lot better. Nowhere near as much damage from the sun. What else do we have? Front fenders are perfect. Hoods, perfect. Aside from a little oxidation. What else we got? A little ding here on this fender. Let me see how. Yeah, you can kind of see that little, very minor, but it's there. Little tiny piece missing from there. That's about it. And winter wheels and tires. BC Racing coilovers. I had the hatch open. I'm not going to reopen the hatch. So I'm shooting this video for a second time because the last one was just so long. It was a lot of editing. BC Racing coilovers, 10,000 in the rear. And I believe 6,000 in the front. A little squat going. And I raised the front so that I could do this a lot faster this time. Swift springs. And as you can see, it's all nice and clean under there. This car was basically a garage queen from the point that I bought it. So, Celica, let me get back here. Yeah, so Celica Racing big brake kit. I believe 330 millimeter rotors, 4-pot caliper, big grip. If you have like winter tires on, for example, the tires will lock up pretty easy. Well, it did before I fixed the ABS sensors. What else? Front mount intercooler. I guess I'll go over the outside of the car first. Original bumper cover. A little banged up a little bit here, but not a huge deal. Front quarter. Man, I really wish this camera would zoom out. Front quarter is good. Front quarter is good. Yeah, that passenger door is like the worst panel on the whole entire car. Anyway, I have to open the hood again. Under the car, you can see that rust was never really an issue. Like I said, from the time I got the car, it was always garage kept. You know, it's a little bit of surface rust on some things, but like if I needed to pull bolts off, never had an issue. Nothing's like corroded. Let me get over here. So, and then while I'm here, let me just go ahead and say that I sealed that up. Where is it? Right there. Yeah. So I sealed that up pretty good. I had two 55, 35, 18 on some 18 by 9.5 on all four corners, inky Kojins. And I took them off the front because at full lock it came in contact with the crank. And that would, with some really good sticky tires, that would hold the crank, I guess, slow it down enough to cause the car to stall. So I took them off. And then I got some 18 by 8 inch inky Kojins for the front. So staggered setup was what the plan was, but I didn't want the car to sit outside when I had it outside while I was working on the Spider. So I did the K-swap conversion on that. So this took up all the garage space for about 4 months. So this sat outside for 4 months after I bought it. And it also sat outside for long periods of time in Nevada when I had it at a mechanic's shop. And basically, that's where the story behind this car kind of starts. The story of where I didn't finish what I wanted to do with it. So, pop the hood. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible this time. Interior is good. Front seats were reupholstered by myself. Very happy with the quality. Just kind of, took the seats apart, did them piece by piece, put it all back together, and the outcome is, I think, probably better than stock. Black instead of gray. So, interior is great. Back seats. Back seats are great, but front seats are black. Not a big deal. Actually, you won't even notice the back seats with tinted windows, and these windows are no longer tinted. The back that's a mirror, and the front is no longer tinted. I had to take the tint off to pass inspection. So, original transmission. It was rebuilt before I bought the car off the previous owner. And synchro for the 3 to 4 shift. So going into fourth, synchros kind of grind going into fourth at high RPMs. They don't grind at normal low speed. So it's that. And then even so, for the synchros, I wanted to, oh my goodness, I swear. So I bought the E154F. So out of the ST205, so there's a tranny for that. I'm not even sure if I could put that in the trunk to transport. I probably could, but I wonder if the trunk could, like, it's fucking heavy. That I did pop the hood. What the hell, man? So, real quick, this is ATS Racing short block. Basically, I took the car, I turned up the boost, blew a head gasket, took the car to a shop when I was in Italy. Italian mechanic took the car apart, took the engine apart, and when I contacted him, he wanted to know if I was interested in having him rebuild the engine. And I guess I was trying to figure out like why he needed to rebuild the engine. If it was just a head gasket. Well, he basically took the engine apart and said he had to take the engine apart to diagnose a head gasket. I guess to make sure that nothing else was wrong, which was ridiculous. And then he refused to put the engine back together without charging me €5,300. €5,300 at the time, I guess, was about $6,000, a little over $6,000. And so I refused to pay that. And basically, I ordered a 2 liter from ATS, and after forged internals, I got it delivered for about $4,000. Dropped it in. Car was running pretty good, but of course I started modifying it. So this is a PTE 5858 turbo, precision 5858, towel wastegate, toy sport, exhaust manifold, shimless bucket conversion done by myself and a mechanic friend. So 9,000 RPM red line for this motor, as long as you set it in the ECU. Speaking of ECU, this is the stock intake manifold, fuel pressure regulator. What else we got? AEM wideband controller, the inline UEGO, whatever it's called. Batteries relocated to the trunk. I believe after letting the car sit outside while I worked on the Spider, water just kind of got down here and kind of corroded over time the battery contact, the battery to the, I guess, relay to starter. So I believe that is not allowing enough current to turn it over, so I have to try to jump that and see if that'll work. What else do we have? Burke Racing downpipe. That's the wideband plugged in. Stock front bumper cover. Front mount intercooler. I did mention the BC Racing coilovers. I think that's about it under the hood. And then the goal was to get rid of that intake manifold and put this one on. So basically I had the RMR and that got stolen when the car was at the mechanic. His wife passed and I don't know what happened, but somebody basically walked away with a lot of my parts. So the car was on AEM EMS and it was running pretty decent, and I wanted him to look it over, tune it. He hired I think Church for tuning or something like that, Church Racing or something like that. But car sat for about a year, never got tuned, never got touched, but parts went missing. And so I took the car back to the garage, worked on it myself, started trying to find parts to kind of get the car back to where I had it before those parts went missing. And so these would go with the car. The tranny would go with the car. But yeah, so got the car running, but basically what I had to do was try to get it running on Mega Squirt because I couldn't find another AEM EMS. So Mega Squirt is plugged in. This was a mess, taking the AEM, converting from, I guess, the AEM pin out to a Mega Squirt. And then also the fact that this is a European spec and a Carlos Sainz spec, which is different from, I guess, just about everything else. So wiring was a pain. Mistakes were made. A few before me, a lot by me. But anyway, got it in, got it to idle. And then one of the things that I realized is that as I was finishing up my tune with the AEM, I wanted to get a little bit more out of my SARD 800cc injectors, which are in here. I wanted to get a little bit more out, so I turned the fuel pressure up. And then when I switched to the Mega Squirt and I had to start from scratch, I had to turn that back down. And so I just never got around to tuning it because the longer this car sat, the harder it is to crank. So, and basically the simplest solution would be to get a whole new engine harness. And if I do that, basically I would want to pull everything out and get rid of every single piece of wiring that I don't need and get basically a tucked harness. I can't get anybody to make it for me, so I would probably have to do it myself, which would absolutely suck. Like, I don't know if I have time. I have time. I don't want to do it. Like, I guess that's the truth. But that is it. This is the Celica. Let me put the hood back down. Yeah, some crapping in the coolant pipe, and you know they sell these kits and they say it's for a Celica, but damn, it's not. They have a kit and they say it's for a Celica, and it doesn't actually fit the Celica at all. But you gotta buy 100 other pieces and make it fit. So anyway, so this is the Celica, and then I will send some pictures, some pretty decent pictures of what it looks like cleaned up. But this is it. I just can't get far enough from the car to get the whole car in the shot. But anyway, that's it.